From the emerald depths of ancient rainforests to the shimmering expanse of coral reefs teeming with life, our planet Earth is a breathtaking tapestry of vibrant ecosystems and awe-inspiring landscapes. In the vast tapestry of the cosmos, Earth stands alone, a vibrant sphere teeming with life. Yet beyond its breathtaking beauty lies a deeper question. What guides the actions of humanity, the stewards of this fragile world? Are there objective moral values and duties that transcend time, culture, and belief, shaping our responsibility to each other and the planet we call home? In part 2 of the evidence for the existence of God, we embark on a breathtaking journey to celebrate the unparalleled beauty of Earth's landscapes and the intricate web of life that thrives within them, while delving into the profound morality of humankind, our capacity for compassion, creation, and destruction, as we navigate our role as stewards of this fragile, magnificent world. We live in a spectacular world, and yet one thing separates humanity from every animal species on Earth: our ability to reason and to tell right from wrong. In a world of shifting values and moral ambiguity, one question persists. Is there an unchanging standard for right and wrong? For centuries, Christian theology has offered an answer, an objective morality rooted in the nature of God Himself. Let's take a look at the moral argument for the existence of God. It states, 1. If God does not exist, objective moral values and duties do not exist. 2. Objective moral values and duties do exist. 3. Therefore, God exists. Let's take a deeper look into premise 1. If God does not exist, objective moral values and duties do not exist. A moral value is guided by the consequence of a decision being good or bad for a person, while a moral duty is guided by the consequence of a decision being right or wrong. Moral values reflect something's worth, while moral duties reflect a person's moral obligation. If there is no God and theism is false, human beings do not have objective moral value. In a naturalistic worldview, where theism is rejected, human beings are understood as products of an unguided evolutionary process. From this perspective, humans are just another animal, a result of socio-biological evolution, no different in any kind from an ape or any other species. Naturalism posits that moral values are not objective, but subjective, emerging from evolutionary pressures that favored survival and reproduction. As philosopher Michael Ruse notes, morality is a biological adaptation no less than our hands and feet. In this framework, moral behaviors such as altruism, cooperation, or even self-sacrifice are explained as mechanisms that enhance group survival, not as reflections of an absolute moral truth. Consequently, human worth is relative, contingent on social utility or individual preference. If a human's value is no different than an animal's, then acts like murder or oppression lack objective moral weight. They are merely undesirable from a societal perspective, not inherently wrong. This leads to a troubling conclusion. Without a transcendent anchor, moral values become arbitrary, subject to the whims of culture or personal opinion. If humans are merely byproducts of nature, their moral value is illusory, and concepts such as justice, love, and human rights lack a foundation beyond contemporary social constructs. Theologian William Lane Craig argues that naturalism leads to a moral nihilism, where nothing is right or wrong, just useful or not useful. This undermines the intuitive human conviction that some acts, such as slavery, genocide, or torture, are objectively evil regardless of the context. In contrast, Christian theology asserts that God, His eternal nature, provides a stable, objective standard for morality. The biblical command to love your neighbor as yourself is not a survival strategy, but a divine mandate rooted in God's love. Human dignity, therefore, is not contingent on evolutionary utility, but on God's purposeful design. Even when humans fail morally due to sin, their inherent value remains, as God's redemptive grace through Christ affirms their worth. Furthermore, if theism is false and there is no such thing as God, there is no such thing as objective moral duties. Imagine living in a state of animal-like behavior where there are no customs or laws. If atheism is true, it is impossible to condemn wars, oppression, crime, and evil. It is impossible to praise equality, love, and justice, and so on. Humans across cultures and eras exhibit a shared sense of moral obligation, condemning cruelty, valuing compassion, and seeking justice. Christian philosophy attributes this to a conscience, a God-given faculty that reflects His moral law. Naturalism struggles to account for why humans feel bound by moral duties that sometimes conflict with their survival instincts, such as sacrificing one's life for a stranger or jumping on a grenade for someone else. Philosopher J.P. Morgan argues that naturalism's explanation of morality as a sociobiological byproduct fails to justify why we ought to follow these instincts. For example, if morality is merely an evolutionary adaptation, then disregarding it, such as acting selfishly, is no more wrong than a lion killing its prey. Christian philosophy, however, grounds moral obligation and duty in God's commands, providing a reason to act morally even when it defies self-interest. And so, do we really live in a world where slavery isn't really wrong, or genocide really isn't evil? Is it just at worst distasteful or against cultural norms to have a person as a slave? Or is every person on earth made in the image of God, and thus they have objective worth? Real-life atrocities, suffering, and evil lead people to realize that God does exist, and these things are truly evil, and that the good things in life are truly good, right, and fair. Not because society says so, but because God has made it so.